And our second main topic today gets submitted to us by Juan Torres, who writes, "Hi, John. Fan since the AMC days. Thank you so much, Juan. With F9 opening this weekend and Black Widow opening in 2 weeks, which film do you think will cross the $100 million opening weekend mark first during the post-COVID era? Or which other film do you think will cross it first?" All right, thanks a lot for sending that in, Juan Torres. And listen, really, in asking the question, which movie will cross the $100 million opening weekend mark first, F9 or Black Widow, what you're really asking is, will F9 make $100 million opening weekend or not? Because it's obviously opening before Black Widow. So obviously it has a little bit of a leg up, and that is the big question. Can a movie right now, Rob, obviously, under normal circumstances, asking the question, can Fast and the Furious 9 make $100 million opening weekend? Obviously. I mean, that's not even a serious question. Obviously it does. But these aren't normal times. Yes, we are in recovery. Yes, as we just discussed, the theaters are now at full capacity, at least in many areas. There's still some areas where it's not, but for a lot of areas it is. And this is not a normal set of circumstances for a Fast and the Furious movie to be opening. So while on the surface, asking can it make $100 million sounds like a ridiculous question, it really isn't. So then you start looking at these two big movies. Which one of these will actually do better with their opening weekends? And I'm not sure, but this comes to us from the folks over at Screen Rant, who write the following. According to Box Office Pro, Black Widow is projected to have an opening weekend total of between 65 million to 90 million. F9 is currently projected to open in the range between 50 and 70, which I think these are numbers that might surprise some people, with the projected number being 62 million. The prediction puts F9 3 million below Black Widow's lowest estimation and would give Black Widow the top grossing opening weekend since the start of the COVID-19 pandemic. Now, Rob, we have seen some good opening numbers during this, recovery phase. Obviously, Godzilla versus Kong, kind of came bursting out of the gate. Everybody was excited about those numbers. A Quiet Place 2 had really impressive opening numbers. So we've seen some good things. But if both Fast 9 and Black Widow hold course, we are going to see that trajectory continue to go up, that we're going to get these bigger releases now with bigger opening weekend numbers. Still nowhere near where they would be in a pre-pandemic world. I mean, the concept that either Black Widow or F9 would open below $100 million is ludicrous, let alone both of them, but it looks like they are. Now, Rob, projections are saying Black Widow. Now, Black Widow will make more money opening weekend, which is interesting because out of the two films, Black Widow is the one that's also offering a ridiculous dumb home release idea for $30 to pay at home. And so that's going to take away some of the box office as well, but they're still projecting that it's going to do more, hence the power of the Marvel name. But Rob, the Fast and the Furious name is an extremely powerful name in the movie business as well. So Rob, let me just kind of put it to you flat. Which of these two movies are going to have the better opening weekend? They're projecting Black Widow, but the projections are sometimes wrong. Is it going to be Fast 9 or is it going to be Black Widow? And why? The floor is yours.
Well, John, Fast 9 has made already just shy of 300 million opening in Asia and the Middle East, which is not bad. But I think that the word of mouth is not as strong on F9 as it could be. And we've heard there's been some pretty good reactions to Black Widow. I've heard a little mixed, but I just think, man, I got to tell you, I think Black Widow is gonna be the movie that really gets people to the theaters because I think it, like, obviously Fast 9 has the Fast saga has a pretty broad appeal. I'm a huge fan of it until this movie, but I think there's a lot of people that are waiting for it. But I do think that Black Widow, I mean, look, Black Widow has 7-year-old girls who are probably begging their mothers to take them to see this movie. And I think that should not be discounted because, in the Marvel universe, you got a strong female protagonist and her film has been a long time coming. I think a lot of people want to see this movie. The movie looks terrific. It looks really exciting. They're pushing the heck out of it, advertising wise, marketing wise. I think Black Widow is going to take it. But they're not opening the same weekend, though.
No, they're a couple weekends apart.
A couple weeks apart. but it'll be interesting to see where we're at. And I have a feeling about Black Widow, John. I think it's going to be pretty big, pretty huge. Not to say Fast 9, but I think, look, Fast 9, I'm one of the most dyed-in-the-wool Fast and Furious fans there are, and it let me down. So I think I think the movie itself, the fact that they embraced the meme nature of the movie, they just decided to, well, everyone thinks this series is goofy. Let's show them how goofy we can be. Let's escape the bonds of reality. Let's escape the gravity of the planet Earth and the physics and any kind of semblance of reality, which they do in Fast 9. And I think that that's actually going to hurt the film.
Let me ask you this.
So,
right now, they're projecting both of these big franchise films to open to under 100 million, which is not terribly surprising given the events and the circumstances we live in right now. But do you think that's going to hold? Do you foresee either one of these movies cracking the 100 million opening mark? What do you think?
Well, I mean, I think they could. Either one of these movies has that potential. It really depends how many theaters are open by the time they, I mean, obviously, look, if our numbers continue to go down, there might be, I mean, 2 weeks could be a big difference in terms of theater capacity in this country. So maybe so. Or it could go the other direction. And if there's a spike in the variants and things like that, and more people come down with COVID, then they might, Black Widow might be hurt by that. So it's hard to say. But right now, I think my money is on Black Widow to break 100 million. But then again, I think that Fast 9 might too.
Right now,
depending on how many go.
I think it should be said, though, that as far as in terms of theater capacity, there's enough theater capacity already that if $100 million worth of people want to go to the theater to see it, I think there's enough theater capacity there to sustain that right now. Maybe not 200 million or 300 million, but I think there's enough for that right now. So we'll see. I'm gonna differ. I'm gonna agree with you that I think Black Widow will probably have the bigger opening weekend. But I'm going to disagree with you that I don't think either will crack 100 million opening weekend. I certainly hope it does, because that would be great signs for other movies to come a little bit later on. The question is for you guys. What do you think about this? Which of these two big movies that we have opening up within a few weeks of each other? We got F9, we've got Black Widow. These are the biggest releases we've had so far in this, transitioning into a post-COVID era. Which one do you think will have the bigger entrance, F9 or Black Widow? And a secondary question for you guys, do you think either of them will crack the $100 million mark? It would be great if they did. I don't think they will, but we'll find out. Whatever it is you guys think, jump down into the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Okay, guys.